All right, so welcome to our signature segments of the 3-hour news show on See Today. It's called See the Stories. And before we begin our talk show, I want to ask my fellow host, Hans. Have you ever heard about family constellation? We discussed about horoscope, right? Rasi bintang, which is not the case.
I thought about star constellation upon the family.
You know what?
I thought maybe the family relationship were actually influenced by Orion or Sagittarius?
Gemini?
Gemini, something like that.
I was thinking that our producers would invite a feng shui expert.
Exactly.
You know what?
That's what I thought. Might be astrologer, but
Or,
no.
or maybe political installation. That's the only installation that I know. Political installation. That means dynamics, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so family constellation therapy, so there is a therapy of family constellation, is a group intervention that helps clients discover and address conflicts within their family groups.
Family is often described as our source of happiness and love, but they can also become a source of our trauma. I cannot agree more with this, which can disrupt the connection within our family members. To address such psychological issues, family constellation therapy is used as a therapeutic approach that explores family dynamics and hidden patterns. Remember, dynamic. This therapy is usually done in a group setting, but individual sessions are also available.
So there's not only political constellation, but also family constellation. And I heard it also applies to relationship and marriage as well.
Life is hard. Adulting is a trap.
And to learn more about this fascinating topic, we have family constellation therapist Meilinda Sutanto with us today. Welcome, May, to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me, both of you.
It's an honor.
Pleasure,
It's an
May.
honor.
It's an honor, too.
So finally, we've got you to answer about family constellation. Otherwise, we will get lost.
Yes, disclaimer, I'm not a horoscope, I'm not feng
Feng
shui,
shui.
I'm
Right.
a therapist.
So tell us,
Okay.
enlighten us. What is actually a family constellation and what is your role?
Okay, so family constellation is a therapeutic method. It's founded in German by this German psychotherapist named Bert Hellinger. So it was invented in German, and its function is to help heal generational trauma that can be passed down from ancestors, parents, consciously or unconsciously, that we didn't even know, that might be able to create a future sabotaging pattern that we are not aware of, because we follow those blind patterns that happens over generations. And who would have thought, you could inheritance. Last time I thought we can only inherit house,
Well, we can inherit trauma.
generational wealth, but we also can inherit generational trauma that we are unaware of. War issues, mental health issues, especially during our parents' era, baby boomer. It's such a taboo talking about mental health. Like,
True.
Go to see a therapist. Are you crazy? Like, I'm not that crazy. So everything gets swept down under the rug, and that is how generation trauma passed from one generation to the other.
So is it visible, like, physically and visually, that we have a trauma in the past and you can pinpoint, okay, you have a trauma, so this is what we're gonna do to solve it?
Right.
Like from the outside, can you tell me that, I have like generational trauma from my parents?
Right. So typically, sometimes we have an expectation or, okay, this is how depressed people look like. They're always sad, they're not functional at home, right? But, a generational trauma can also form in this thing called high functioning depression. So you would have never guessed that this person has depression. It looks like just you and me, very high functioning, very high achieving, but inside, oh my God, I feel so empty on the inside, or like, I have so much achievement, I feel so sad and empty. Why? Those are one of the things, right? Depression, anxiety, psychosomatic issues like you can't sleep, insomnia. Sometimes we just segregate that this is physical illness and this is not mental, but our body, it's all connected, right? You can't sleep. Psychosomatic symptoms like insomnia, difficulty breathing, back pain, all this. These are actually symptoms of a possible generational trauma that you carry within you that you're not aware of. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this became serious when you were saying about psychosomatic and stuff, and how trauma is actually stored in your body as well unconsciously. But we know that all this time, therapy is a one-on-one session. And what is actually the difference between a group constellation? Because I think, for me, if you ask me if I would be able to let go of everything that I feel in a group, I don't think I would.
I'd rather
Yeah.
be naked because it's too much like
Yeah,
vulnerably.
exactly.
That is the problem. Last time
Oh.
I used to be very, how do you say that? I'm a very logical person. And this is why I really love Family Constellation. It's very apt for people who are logical. People who are not willing to actually open up in a session. That's very amazing, and it's how they do it. It's why in a group therapy, it's Family Constellation is an expressive and role play based therapy. So imagine in a group. So I'm not, and everyone's willingness to open and share is different.
Yeah.
It's higher for some other, maybe for a newcomer or for a person who is logical and never shed a tear in their life. Probably is like, what? Like, I'm not going to cry. It's very hard for me to cry alone, let alone in a group. I don't think I can do that.
Okay, I need to stop you there.
Yeah.
What kind of group is this? Is it like the group of your family?
No.
Or group of strangers?
Group of strangers. That's
Oh my
intriguing.
God.
Yeah.
This is what we normally see on TV or on movies, right?
Right.
Oh
So you
my
come together as
God.
a stranger. I don't need to know your deepest, darkest secret, and everyone's openness, the level of openness is different.
Yeah.
And I love it because Family Constellation respect and meet each person where they are. We're not trying to force the ones like, you cry, why can't you cry? It's like, why are you crying? Can you share? No, we will like totally respect that privacy. So in the group, let's say a group therapy consists of about 30, 40 people in a group. So one person is probably like, okay, like I'm ready to get
Hang on.
naked.
But why would a person tell strangers about their deepest trauma?
No, they don't tell the deepest trauma. So for example, in a group, and I would say, who like to work now? There must be like a few volunteers. And then I pick, okay, you over there, please come forward here, right? And when the person, we call this the problem owner. So I'll imagine, hi, what would you like to work on today? You simply said, I'd like to improve my relationship with my mom. That's okay. It's not like, oh, I cheated on somebody and somebody, right? Or I like to repair my relationship with my partner or my child. That's very basic and very
Surface.
Surface. Okay, perfect. I don't need to know anything else. All right? Look around. There's 30 people here. Who would you like to pick someone to represent and role play, to act as yourself? And who would you like here? Pick someone to play as your child, your spouse, your mother, whoever, with whatever issue you're having at that moment. And then this is where the magic happens, that it might look accidental, is you pick any random person, but it's not actually random. And when the person come forward, of course, I'll guide, and suddenly, this is where the magic begins. Two strangers come forward, and they start acting like you and your partner without prior knowing how they are personality before this.
That is done automatically.
Automatically, and you can see, I thought the problem is this, but actually is that. Oh, I thought the problem is with my partner, but actually it's, I have issue with my mother, or I project my anger of my father to him or my partner, so the solution uncovers magically within that setting within 20 minutes. And this methodology is fast because it bypasses your subconscious. It cuts down that many session one-on-one that, you have this facade and protection.
Yes.
And,
All the logics.
Yeah, exactly. So it bypassed that and like your jaw just went drop like, oh my God, that's me in a nutshell. And that's my partner in a nutshell.
Right.
So then a solution emerged there, and this person go back, a more wise person, being able to empathize more with your partner, kid, mother, and the person playing the role gets the benefit also. Either that person maybe has a hard time understanding the spouse that she's acting, and when she walks the partner's shoe, this is how it feels like being my partner is hard. He's trying, and everybody get to be empathized going back forward. And the observer is not passive. You can hear sobbing sounds in the room where they feel that they connected at different scenes, different words trigger different triggers. And those sobbings, I was like, okay, those people who sobs, I won't ask you, it's like, why do you sob? but make sure that you have like a reflection journal and what do you learn from this
Right.
session today.
Right. Wow.
So everybody get the benefit with the privacy intact.
So it's a session to empathize,
It's
to
session
learn about
to empathize,
empathy.
not only empathy, also to understand the root cause of your repeated trauma. You know, sometimes I don't understand. I keep attracting a toxic partner. Why is that? Okay, and you know later on the answer uncovers. Oh, actually, they're not ready. They feel they're not worthy for a healthy relationship because they're loyal with the pattern of parents from generations of divorced partners.
Right. So, what kind of problems that can be solved by a family constellation therapist like yourself?
Okay,
Because you were saying
it's
about the root cause of
very,
it.
very multifaceted, right? So I have effect where it is health. So a person with tumor actually constellated and found out that she's not in talking terms with the father for 10 years. So after that, she didn't say anything. It just showed in the field. And after that, she talks to a father, estranged father, right? 2 weeks later, she got an MRI. Sorry, not MRI. She got a mammogram and found out that the tumor is gone. And she thought the machine in the hospital is broken, so she tried another hospital. And the same results show it's clean. And the doctor said, what did you do? Like, what meant? No, I didn't do anything. I just, for the last 2 weeks, this is the only thing that I did. And I reconnected with my father.
Wow.
But to disclaim, I wouldn't say that you like this should not be replaced for a medical treatment. This should be a complementary treatment, and results are not guaranteed, and it's by case basis.
Yeah.
That has been what happened. So that is one case. I've seen another one, parent and child relationship improved a lot, and you know, from a very overbearing parents realized that, oh my God, I thought so. This time is my child is the problem, but actually it's me, right? And I have like a couple, husband and wife, reunited after constant bickering, and they realized, oh my God, they're actually fight from an empty tank, and they actually become a taker, you know, in a relationship. So family constellation have 5 principles. I don't know if later on we have a segment to explain briefly what it is. So in a healthy relationship couple, you have to be able to give and take equally. As two adults. Sometimes if we don't receive enough love from our parents, we come to our partner becoming a taker. Like, I just want to take. You make me happy, you
Yes.
fill my tank, you know, I'm so burnt
Yeah.
out. I have to take care of my family drama. Now I come here with you,
Yeah.
you make me happy, you do this. But that's not
You fill in
healthy.
my tank.
Exactly, but I need you to fill in my tank because it's two adults relationship being
Yeah,
equal.
yeah.
So, you know, I used to joke with one of my client, right? Is that, are you sure you're looking for a relationship? You're not looking for sugar daddy or mommy? It's okay. The giving can be one way, but you know, I don't want you to be frustrated when you actually mean one thing and you want another thing, right? If you want a sugar daddy, then you just manifest a sugar daddy. If you want like a proper relationship, you need to do the work of giving because it's not you just receiving one way.
You can manifest everything, including sugar daddy. Mommy, yeah? Let's start manifesting.
Most people think they want a relationship, but actually they're not fully committed. They don't have the time. Their concentration, their focus is still within their immediate family.
Yeah.
So
They don't have the space in their heart,
how can
probably.
I take care of this person? Like,
Yes.
you know, when my focus is like my family of origin.
Okay, so May, this is a very interesting because
Yeah.
you were mentioning about generational trauma.
Yeah.
And let's say for us, we are 30 plus and we've been shaped this way, we've been molded this way. It might take another, let's say we might have generational trauma. And it might take another 30 plus year to actually fix it. But what I want to know is how many sessions do clients usually need before they start seeing meaningful
Results.
changes?
Right. So like I told you about the effect of the tumor case, she just went once.
I mean, that's instant. That's very instant.
She's really like, I think that
So that super
desperation.
strongly relates to stress, maybe bad relationship, or maybe trauma that she has within,
Yes,
right?
and the key here, gentlemen, I wouldn't say feel pity for you, but mother usually take a higher hierarchy compared to father.
Yeah.
And when push comes to shove, when relationship goes sour, children's loyalty tends to go with mom.
True.
Just because we live in her stomach 9 months for free and she gave birth to us. So our loyalty tends to be with mom. So as a mother, with I always advise my mother clients that with great power comes great responsibility. Make sure when you fight or you're not in good terms, you want to talk crap about your husband, please do it with your friends or come to me or counselors. Don't talk bad about your partner to your kids, because then it's not great. Your kids will immediately, because a child is a smaller person than the parents, so they feel that I can't side with you. I feel bad because half of me is dad, half of me is mom, and it feels that I have to give up that other half of my father in allegiance
To you.
to you. But in the process, the child is sabotaging that love tank that a child have to receive love from both parents fully. Now it becomes only 50%.
May, it's really interesting
Yeah.
if, I have a real life situation where, my family members don't, get along and
Yeah.
don't talk too much,
Yeah.
right? So let's say my sister blames my mother for doing what she did, right? But then we kind of understand that our mother also, as you said, got this trauma from her
own
parents in the
mother,
past,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And if this, my siblings want to take my mother to a psychologist or to, a counselor, she would reject immediately.
Of course.
Because she doesn't believe that she has a problem,
Yes.
and she doesn't believe in such a therapy because I'm not crazy. I don't
That's
have any mental illness.
That's right.
Is there any solution how to bring these two parties, like to you or to counselor? Because it takes two to tango to
Yes.
solve a problem, right?
Correct. Yes and no. I always tell my clients.
Wait, yes and
Yes
no.
and no.
Yes and
okay. Because
Okay.
the goal of therapy is not to change your mom, because that decision, that choice, is beyond your control. You're trying essentially to control someone else's decision, right? You'll go crazy because the only decision that you can control is your own.
True.
So your mom refused therapy, respect her timing, maybe, but go, because you're not sacrificing your future. You want to heal. Everyone has their own pace, their own timing. We grew up in different generation. We might validate your mom because maybe during her generation, also I always tell this, maybe in our grandparents' generation during the war era,
Yeah.
good parent meaning, as long as my kid don't die, I'm a good parent.
Yeah.
Don't bomb, okay? So that's the mandate of being what a good grandparent, like parents during like our grandparents' generation.
Yeah.
Come to your mom generation, the post-war
boomers.
baby boomer, right? And they have a different mandate. It's like, as long as I can feed my kid 3 meals a day, put a roof over their head, that's a good parent. You have mental issue, what's that? I don't know. That's not in my system.
As long as
That's-
your tummy is full.
Yeah, your tummy is full, you go to school, I graduate, good job.
Considering the situation and
Yeah.
economic situation, political
Correct.
back then in
Yeah.
that era.
Yeah.
Make sure you get a good job. Passion, what's that? That's privilege. You can, jualan bakso, or I don't know, like do something that
Yeah,
put food
yeah,
in the
yeah.
table. That's me being a good parent, right? Right. Then comes in our generation, the millennial, Gen Z parenting. The mandate is different. It's like, oh my God, you have this backlog of overdue, like mental issue that is suppressed from your generation, from your grandparents, from your parents. Times are great now. There's no more war. There's, everyone survived. We all survived. Now it's safe to unleash the inner war. So please help process what your grandparents, your mom, either too busy surviving. They just put that on the back seat later. Today becomes tomorrow, becomes next year, becomes next decade, and then boom,
Explodes to
goes
us.
to you. So it's very important to see that what is a different mandate of good parenting in different generation. So make sure that you're validating your mom, but your mom is also validating you that, oh yeah, we have very different needs. We grew up in different generations. It doesn't mean that if you're right, I'm wrong. It doesn't mean that if I'm wrong, you're right, right? So, and I always tell my client, what is the definition if a person is totally healed? Okay, a person is totally healed.
Oh, probably you have to hold there
Okay,
because it's
sec-
getting more intense. And do you feel overwhelmed already? Well, hold your horses, because we will have some solutions later in the next segment. So we still have questions as well for Meilinda Sutanto regarding the benefits of family constellation therapy after the break. Stay tuned.